I don't want to have all this success, but basically be self-serving. I don't want to have all this success and always be getting into petty conflicts. No, I want to be true Roman. I want to be Maximus. Welcome to the Spinoso podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alex Spinoso. My experience and expertise is in scaling all types of medical businesses to 7, 8, and 9 figures. And I'm sharing my journey to having multiple 8-figure companies and someday, hopefully, enjoying a 9-figure exit. This isn't a podcast telling you you should do this. I'm just telling you how I did this, and I hope that helps you. I want to help you build your business, take ownership of your life, and become a better leader at home and at work. And guys, I'd love to connect with you, especially if you're a medical entrepreneur. I have free courses available to help you scale your medical business. Check those out at dralexspinoso.com/courses. That is dralexspinoso.com/courses. I also invite you to connect with me on Instagram at Dr. Alex Spinoso, LinkedIn at the same, and every other platform, YouTube, etc. I am always Dr. Alex Spinoso. Thanks for listening. So if you have listened to my stuff for any amount of time, you might have heard me mention a guy named Andy Frisella. Most people know Andy from his nutritional supplement company, First Form. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. Other people know him from the great entrepreneurship podcast he hosted called the MFCEO Project. Those were the ways that I first found out about him. But in many ways, the most significant impact he has had on me was through the creation of his group for entrepreneurs. He called it the Arete Syndicate. And I want to talk a little bit about that today, the concept of arete. So what the heck is arete? Well, it's a Greek word for excellence. To the ancient Greeks, arete was the most important quality or value. It was literally the defining quality of their culture, their civilization. For Americans, our most important value is probably freedom. For some African countries I visited, it's probably community. And to be honest, there's a lot of good about that. Those people are the most other-centered people I've ever met in my life. But, like I said, for the Greeks, the value was excellence. It was all over their literature. It's the defining quality that is promoted in their great epics, the Iliad, the Odyssey, and those alike. Arete as a concept developed and evolved. At first, it just meant excellence in war or physical combat. Arete comes from the name of Ares, the Greek god of war. Eventually, though, it ended up meaning excellence in everything, from your ability on the battlefield to your ability to communicate and persuade people. What's interesting is that even though the Greeks were so committed to excellence, their civilization eventually died off. You know why? Well, because those motherfuckers kept on getting into fights with each other. Every single chance they got. All the Greek city-states were constantly getting into conflicts with each other. They battled each other. And that, in the end, weakened them. It made them vulnerable. And eventually, they got beaten. But what is interesting is that another civilization took the Greek idea of arete and improved upon it. You might have heard of this group of people. The Romans. You'd be hard-pressed to find an empire that was more dominant for a longer period of time than the Romans. Well, how did they develop arete? They said that in order to be excellent, you had to be committed to something higher than yourself. For them, it was Rome. Rome as a nation, as an empire, was bigger and more important than any one person. They realized if they were going to be a dominant empire, if they were going to become the dominant empire, they needed to rally around something greater. They needed to be unified. One of my favorite movies of all time is the movie Gladiator. If you haven't seen it, here's the cliff notes. Gladiator is an epic tale of loyalty, betrayal, and redemption set in ancient Rome. The film follows Maximus Decimus Meridius, a beloved general who is betrayed by the ambitious Commodus, the corrupt son of Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Maximus, seeking revenge and justice for the murder of his family and the betrayal of his emperor, rises as a gladiator in the brutal arenas of Rome. Through his courage, leadership, and unwavering commitment to the ideals of Rome, Maximus becomes a symbol of hope and resistance against Commodus' tyrannical rule. As he navigates the treacherous political landscape of the Roman Empire, Maximus ultimately confronts Commodus in a final, epic battle for the actual soul of Rome. I absolutely love this movie. One of the main reasons I love it is because of Maximus' commitment to arete, excellence, for something greater than himself, all of Rome. He isn't committed to glory for himself as a general. He's committed to his soldiers. The corrupt and evil Commodus offers Maximus the chance to become a Caesar, but he rejects it. He understands that Commodus is self-seeking, and Maximus turns down the power and privilege because it's not good for Rome. As a gladiator, Maximus fights on behalf of the people. At the end of the movie, I won't give it away, but Maximus sacrifices for the good of Rome. It's an amazing movie. And the concept of arete, as it's understood by Romans, is extremely applicable to success and happiness in life and in business. Listen, I am committed to excellence. I'm committed to working hard and doing my best. And because of that commitment, I've been able to enjoy financial success. I've been able to build companies that generate millions of dollars. Okay, cool. That's nice. But I don't want to be like the Greeks. I don't want to have all this success, but basically be self-serving. I don't want to have all this success and always be getting into petty conflicts. Not that I'm against competition. I'm very competitive, but I think there's a difference between being competitive for the sake of a higher purpose and being just a disagreeable prick. No. I want to be true Roman. I want to be Maximus. That's why I'm so committed to finding partnerships with other business people where it results in a win-win for everyone involved. I think unifying as much as possible with people who share your core values and goals and your vision is the key to massive wealth. There's a saying, if you want to be extremely wealthy, make everyone around you extremely wealthy. To reference another movie, Braveheart, that's why I always tell people, unite the clans. Unite them. Look for those opportunities to unite. Look for those opportunities to work together with someone, to sacrifice a little personal gain so that together you can accomplish more. And here's something important. I love money. But money is a tool for a higher purpose. It's something you use to do something greater. What's your something greater? Is it a higher power? Is it a cause? Is it your community? Is it your family? That's for sure my something greater. That's what motivates a ton of my pursuit of arete, excellence. Stephanie and I have triplets, 2 boys and 1 girl. And I always say I would die for my sons, but I would kill for my daughter. That's the kind of passion you need to have for your family. It makes the pursuit of all this wealth and the headaches and anxiety that go along with it, it makes it worth it. I can tell you right away, right now, that building all these businesses is not nearly as satisfying as the day when, in the future, my kids join me in building the family businesses together. So, are you committed to arete? Committed to excellence? Good. But what is the ultimate motivation? Is it something greater than yourself? What's your Rome? What unifies all your efforts? People who are motivated by their own glory build businesses, but people who are committed to something greater build empires. There's a great line in Gladiator. Maximus says, "What we do now echoes in eternity." I'll be honest. I have no fucking idea what happens after we die. But I do think his words are true. What we do in this life matters for all time. What we do now will follow us after we are gone. Maybe it's just what we teach our kids, or the love that we show them, or what we do to teach them how to succeed and be happy when we are no longer around. Whatever it is, what Maximus said is true. What we do now echoes in eternity. So, commit to excellence. Embrace Arete. Dedicate it to something greater than yourself. Find your Rome. Build your empire and die fulfilled.